Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'd like to do a very quick video looking at all of the new Macfarlane DC figures that have been announced recently, and there has been an absolute ton. I mean, I was going to make a video, like I think probably a few weeks ago now, just when two were announced, and now we have all of these, like all the ones you see here, plus a few others. So let's get straight into it. So first, let's look at this wave. This is I forgot what it's called, what wave this is, but wave of various different sort of heroes that are not Batman, which is a good thing. Let's start off with Martian Manhunter. This is a really cool looking figure. I've never been the biggest fan of Martian Manhunter, but I have to admit this figure actually looks really nice. I really love the sculpting on this figure, and their face sculpt looks really good. Like when I think of a Martian Manhunter face sculpt, that's sort of what I think of. I think I maybe think of it more like the animated what was it called, the Justice League anime series, where it might be a bit taller and stuff, or a bit I don't know, sort of slender, but still this is a pretty cool face sculpt, and I really love sort of like the brow on it, and especially the red eyes, and the rest of it, and especially the cape is really well done. And overall, I'm not a too big fan of the character, so I don't know if I'll actually pick it up, but for people who do like this character, this is definitely a really cool figure. Next we have Aquaman, and now this is a figure I'll definitely be picking up. Like, this looks really good. Like, I really like the look of this Aquaman. The only problem I have is those stupid eyes that are sort of like looking to the side. They do it on quite a lot of their figures now, and I really don't know why, because it looks pretty damn awful. Like, there's only a few figures that I might actually like it on, and still I'd rather it not be there. But anyway, the rest of the body looks really nice. It's proper sort of classic looking body, so I assume they'll probably re-release it in the future with a more classic looking head without the beard and long hair and stuff, even though that is my preferred look for an Aquaman. So I do really like this figure. I'll definitely be getting it. Be a great sort of classic Aquaman to add to the collection to help fill out like a Macfarlane Justice League at some point, which is taking forever because they hardly ever release classic figures. But so far we've got quite a few. But anyway, this is a really nice figure. Oh, and it comes with his trident, which is good. Oh wait, did he come with? No, he didn't come with anything, which is a shame. This guy, he should have come with an extra like fist hand to have double fist hands. But yeah, that's really annoying. He comes with no accessories, but he comes with a trident and then 2 open hands. So I mean, okay, I guess that's fine for Aquaman. Next we have Zord, and now I don't know, when I look at this figure, I don't immediately think Zod, because the only Zod versions I know is from the movies. The 2 different versions from the movies. I don't think I've ever read a comic with Zod in it, so all my knowledge of that, their sort of design and stuff, is from the movies, and so this looks a bit different to me. Definitely a cool looking design. You can tell it's definitely moulded really well. You can see those are really cool sort of patterns on the sort of clothing in there. And especially good moulding on the armour, and overall it's a really good looking figure. I'm just not too familiar with it, so if you love Zod, this is I guess a perfect figure because it looks pretty damn cool. But I don't think this is his classic look, so some people might be a bit disappointed, but the face sculpt looks really nice. I do like that face sculpt, and it does come with loads of hands, which is really good, but also really bizarre because some figures don't, but this figure does, so it just doesn't really make any sense to me. But it's still a really cool looking figure. Now of course we have the Superman. This is, like it says, from Lewis and Clark. Not the show, I assume. No, it's not the show. It's I assume from a comic I have not read. It's a really cool. This is the, I think you just call it the black suit, because I heard someone say it's not the regeneration suit. But still looks really awesome. I like the face sculpt a lot. I like how it actually looks like the previous Superman head sculpt we got for the Superman 1000, but it's, with a beard, of course. I don't know if it's the exact same mould or whether they just try to go for that sort of look, but still, I do really like it. And then, of course, we got the reuse of this body that was already been released many times, most recently on the New 52, I think it was, Superman, and also originally on the Infected Superman, which is a really cool figure I recently got. Same with the Bizarro, and also another Dark Knight's Metal one, I think, that I haven't got, but I should need to at some point to get a Build-A-Figure piece. But it looks really cool. I don't know whether I like this sort of really muscly suit on this, or really muscly mould on this particular Superman. I always thought of him being a bit more skinny, but I don't know, that's probably wrong from the actual comic book, and I mean it's my favourite mould they've done for Superman so far, so I'm not complaining. I just don't think I'll actually get it since it don't come with a Build-A-Figure piece, but maybe I'll change my mind. It's certainly better than the the DC Essentials one, because that one was awful. They just painted like a weird scrubby beard on the same Superman face, and they said it was done, and took away the cape, and that was pretty much it. But this is definitely, they put more work in this. I think it's a new belt and stuff, and it comes with 2 flying hands, and also a stand, which is good. Next we actually have DC Essentials zombie figures. What were they called? Deceased, that was it. They're actually bringing this line back, and I cannot express how excited I am for this, because I loved the look of the Essentials figures, and I'm completely missed out on them when they came out, and only got into them recently. And looking back, all the one I missed out on, and how much they go for on eBay / how impossible they are to find on eBay, not just for a good price, but just in general in my country or even anywhere really. It's just kind of ridiculous. Like the original Superman that came out is one I've always, like, since I saw it, I've wanted desperately. Like, it's up there with some of the figures I've just always wanted, especially for Superman figures, which I generally don't really care about, but it's a really cool looking classic Superman. I think it looked better than the Macfarlane one, in my opinion. But yeah, it's really cool they're bringing it back, even if it is in this deceased sort of line, which I already do have 2 figures for, so that's quite cool. And I'm going to get a few others if they're still in stock, I'm not sure. But I have the Batman and the Joker, but I'm really happy they're coming out with these, because these are ones I was really disappointed that they sort of cancelled. And they look really good. I think these are just the original images they used, but still, it's really cool they're bringing them back. It's really cool Macfarlane actually bring these guys back. And I'll be releasing quite a lot of these, it's really cool. I don't know whether they'll carry on with the wave after they've used all the molds they already previously made, and whether they'll carry on making any more Essentials figures. I really, really hope they do, because I feel like they do have something to offer compared to Macfarlane figures that are just a bit different. They're just a bit more classic, and they really use quite a lot of the same molds, but usually I just think they go together a bit more better. It's hard to explain. I just there's something about them that is just different than Macfarlane that I just don't know if I would say I would like more. I just like a lot. I just like a lot as their own thing. So the Superman looks awesome. I like his detailing. I wish he had maybe a bit of sculpting or something on these sort of cuts here, maybe a bit of blood coming out of them, but as they are, they're just sort of these scratches with a bit of flesh coming out of them. There's a bit of blood on the chest there, and of course this awesome looking sort of scratched up face with that awesome looking creepy sort of screaming mouth, and I really like this figure in general. Definitely one I was really disappointed that was cancelled. I'm really happy it's finally happening, because it's the closest I'm probably ever going to get to getting the Essentials Superman, but I really hope they re-release it at some point. Here we have the deceased Harley Quinn, really good looking figure again. Another one I was disappointed got cancelled, and one I'm mostly looking forward to, because I can put it next to my deceased Joker, which I like to think of them as not actually being zombie versions at all, because they got these sort of smiles, but actually I think they're way better looking versions of the other Essentials figures we got for the classic looks, except just all beaten up and stuff. Like, this is sort of what I think of when, Batman or anyone who has just beaten Harley or Joker up, and that's the sort of idea I get from these figures, and I think it looks really good. And this one in particular, I think is actually done better than a lot of the others, because you see there's actually moulding on the face, of course. The whole face is really well done, and a new mould, and looks really cool. You see there's a bit of a sort of gash right on top of her head there. Also her sort of bauble things, all dirty. Then there's blood on her, I don't know what you call that, another bauble thing. There's blood on there, blood on her chest, more scratches on her arms and down here. And then this is what I think is really cool, is there's actually sort of this really good sort of looking sort of mud look and dirty sort of look on her hands and feet, and even like sort of this dried up blood on her sort of hand things. I don't know what you call them, the sort of red bits there. And I overall think it's a really awesome looking figure, one I'll definitely be picking up. Next we have the deceased Supergirl, another figure when originally released I really wanted, and has become really hard to get. So this is actually really cool. Don't know whether as interested in getting this over other ones, but I think I'll still be picking it up as it is DC Essentials, and I just want to own some DC Essentials, to be honest, even if they are these weird sort of zombie variants. But anyway, I do like this figure. You've got, like, of course, another really well sculpted zombie face. All these zombie faces are really well sculpted. Some gashes on the neck, bit of blood on the chest, and a few more scratches there. A few scratches down here that actually have blood coming out of them, which is cool. Then some lots of blood on her hands, which is cool. And I don't know whether there's any blood underneath that, but I assume her feet are a bit dirty or something. And that's pretty much that for that figure. And here is the Flash. Never really bothered about the original DC Essential Flash for whatever reason. It just didn't appeal to me. Even though you can actually still get it for an okay price online, as long as it's not mint in packaging or anything. Anyway, this face sculpt is really awesome, since you can actually see his hair poking out of it, and like cracks in the actual mask, which I really like. Of course, blood and scar bits all over his face, blood on the chest again. They seem to just love putting that blood just that part of the chest. Blood all over the hands, and that's pretty much it for it, except from these few gashes here that have no blood coming out of them. And also a bit of a dirty look around the figure. Overall, pretty cool looking figure. Now let's move on to this. This is the what is this called? This is the Endless Winter Wave, I'm pretty sure it's called. One I was actually looking forward to when I heard about it, like from leaks and stuff, because I saw this guy in artwork and thought it was going to be really awesome. I also saw, when I saw that, when I searched it up, I searched up Wonder Woman from this sort of line of comics, I saw a classic Wonder Woman, got really excited. Obviously, they went for the different look in the comic, and that's a bit disappointing, but also it does look pretty cool. But for this wave, let's start off with this Green Lantern, the exact same Green Lantern we have before, which I actually don't mind, as I never picked up that figure, and I got the Hal Jordan instead, from that 2-pack for Christmas, and now I can actually, it's good, I'm happy I waited out on it, because now I can get this version and actually get a Build-A-Figure piece, which I would have to have a double beforehand. Also, this Batman, really interesting looking Batman. He comes with one of those really big Batarangs that I really like, but overall, interesting looking Batman, I don't know that much about. I also don't know how much I like it that much. I think it's a well sculpted and well made figure. I just don't know how bothered I am with the design too much. It's certainly interesting, just I think there's probably other figures I'd rather getting over this one, at least. That's all I'll say. But still, pretty cool looking figure. Over here we got the Wonder Woman. I think this is an awesome looking Wonder Woman. I'll definitely be getting this one. I just for some reason I'll pretty much just buy any variant of Wonder Woman with sort of blue, red, and gold, just because I love that sort of look on her. And also I think this whole version of her is just really interesting, and I like it a lot. Then we got Black Adam, and really cool, actually really good looking Black Adam. Like, I don't know whether I like this more than the DC Essentials or DC Icons ones, because they both made one. I might like it a bit more than the Essentials one, but I'm not completely sure. It's a really cool looking figure. I don't know if I'll be actually too bored about getting this if it wasn't in the Build-A-Figure wave, as I just don't really care for the character too much in the comics. I've never liked his sort of the look of his face in the comics. So I might just wait until they come out with a one for the movie with The Rock, which I don't know if as long as the movie's good, of course, as long as he's good in the movie. But overall, it's actually a really good looking figure. Then of course we got whoever this dude is. I don't know his name, but I have to say I was a bit disappointed when seeing this, because I saw the original artwork and I just don't think it looks as good in the figure form. It certainly has some really cool looking moulding. Like, if I'd be lying if I said it wasn't it was a bad looking figure or a badly made figure, because it really is a well made figure. I can't actually criticise anything about the moulding or even the paint apps on this figure, because I really like the sort of shades of different green and blue in these sort of transparent pieces here, and on the horns on the head, and the really cool like sort of angry looking head, and even the hair on the head looks really cool. Even just everything on this figure looks awesome. When I look back and look at the figure, it just doesn't bother me that much. It's not a character I recognise. It's not a design I'm particularly crazy, like I have to get that, even though I don't know the character sort of on it. So I don't know, might have to read the comic to actually get into this figure. I also think he looks maybe a bit skinny. I mean, he's certainly beefy, but he's not as beefy as what I saw from the pictures of the comic, but maybe I was just looking at the wrong pictures. But overall, a pretty cool wave. I just don't know whether I'll be wanting to pick it all up. And then, oh god, here we go. Here is the most recent figure they announced, the Bruce Wayne Drifter from the new Batman movie. God, this is a weird looking figure. I saw this and really thought it was a sort of a fan mock-up. Then I realised it was official, and I had everyone bashing on it, and those people saying, "Oh my god, what happened to Macfarlane?" or "This is why I stopped collecting Macfarlane," or "Macfarlane has got so much worse." And I got kind of annoyed with those comments, because Macfarlane is still doing some really amazing stuff. They just sometimes come out with a figure like this, especially for human face sculpts and human just stuff based on actual human actors. They just can't do at all. Their Harry Potter figures were dreadful in the face sculpts. They're some of all of their sort of ones they've done, like maskless figures they've done for movie figures, are also pretty damn terrible. Like Henry Cavill, that was probably the best they did, and that still wasn't that great. Something looked really off about it, especially the sort of just the paint on the face just does not look human. It looks very matte, and you can see they try to give him, I don't know, either mud or stubble, and I think it's a stubble, and it looks disgusting. It looks like he's got freaking black acne on his face. He's got weird lips that are just way too sort of pronounced and dark. The actual sculpting on the face, as an actual sculpt, isn't the worst thing ever. The hair I actually quite like, even though I think it should be maybe a bit darker, because it's quite brown hair. And his eyes, even though they look less shifty to the side, don't look too bad. The black around his eyes, I don't mind. But then we get onto the body. What the hell? He looks fat. He doesn't look beefy. He just looks, maybe if another head sculptor was on it, maybe. But he just looks kind of fat in this suit. I don't know. He just doesn't look that great. And it's a shame, because the actual moulding on this jacket, if you look deep into it, is really, really good. Look at the moulding on that zipper, and just walk over the coat. It looks absolutely amazing, stuff that Marvel Legends just couldn't do. But then just the way it was put together, the way everything was decided to be put together, and proportion-wise, it just, especially the face, it comes together for a really bad looking figure, which is just a shame. And then we come on to arms that look like a bit more plasticky, or sort of looks like a bit more rained on, especially the hood compared with the jacket. So I don't know if that's meant to be leather as well or not. It's hard to tell. It just looks really shiny and dark black compared with the rest of the jacket. So I don't know what actually is going on there. And then the worst part that immediately stood out to me about this whole figure is the hands. The hands look awful. They don't even look like they've been moulded properly. You can see that there's fingers and stuff, but they don't have a single sort of dark tone to them, or any variation in colour to them, or any type of shading, or any sort of moulding of any type of veins, or anything that you expect to see on the hands, except from knuckles and fingers. And I found that really odd, because especially when I think Macfarlane just can't do those sort of hands really. They just always look wrong to me. They always look a bit chubby as well, especially just compared to the figure. They just stand out to me, like they're really a bright shade of skin tone, and overall the figure just looks, I don't know, just looks bad. I'm hoping it looks better in future, because this is a figure I was looking forward to seeing, but I just don't think it looks very good, to be honest. It's not awful, because there are some actually really good parts about it, especially with the sculpting on the jacket, but the way the figure was just put together just makes it a bad looking figure, really. I'm still going to say for that. And I think that's all. We got two more. We have the Titan Joker from Arkham Asylum. Really, actually, I didn't like the look at this figure when I first saw it, and I thought, oh, this is worse than the DC Collectibles one that came out with years ago. But I saw sort of comparison images, and I think the Collectibles ones, I much rather the paint apps on, like much rather the paint apps on. But this one, I think I rather the actual sculpting on, to be honest. I really like the sculpting on it. I think the original Collectibles one did have some problem with the sculpting in terms of like proportions and stuff, this one I think fixes most of these issues. I really like the proper like deep red scars, but I just not a big fan of the sort of bright green and the weird green and yellow on his back that I don't even remember seeing, which I'm sure it was there, just don't remember overall just sort of cartoony looking look. I just don't think I'll be getting it because it's a cool looking figure. I just not a massive fan of the design or the paint apps on it, even though they are cool, good paint apps. Like the face looks amazing. I just not too bothered with the character or the design or that boss fight in general. But you know, if I see it in person, maybe I'll think about getting it. It's just I assume this will be a £40 figure, which I just don't know whether I want to spend on a Titan Joker. And finally, I think if we scroll all the way back to the beginning, there is this clayface that they just revealed, and I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest. I think it's certainly a good looking clayface compared to some of the other ones we've got, but I just think I would have rather done another design, because immediately when I saw this I thought Poo Monster. I mean, I know you think that probably for quite any clayface they come out with, but this one especially, like you can see it dripping down, and yeah, it's I just don't think I would be able to look at this on my shelf and not think that. Now I have seen images where the mouth can actually close, which is quite cool. But I just don't think I don't know. Maybe I do like Clayface as a character though, so it's not the worst looking design. I'm not a big fan of the legs though. They look very sort of stumpy and it's hard to explain. I'm not a big fan of those legs. It's also quite thin compared with the rest of the body, especially the arms. But I think that's all I have to really say about this figure. I just might get it. I'll have to see more. I have to see a review on it, to be honest. And I think that's it for the video. Let's go back to this page over here. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. I hope you didn't mind me sort of go on about all of these different figures and what I thought about them. Mostly I think they all look really cool. It's really cool that we're getting all of these figures next year. I don't know which ones I'll be prioritising. I think I'll probably be prioritising their essentials figures that they're coming out with, but there are definitely quite a few here that I will be getting if I see them, but there's so many Macfarlane figures I haven't got yet that I really want to get, more than a lot of these, so I guess I have to pick and choose and get the old ones first. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. I hope you liked my video. Thank you for watching me ramble along about all these figures, and I'll see you next time.